Hi, everybody. I am Trey, one of your average film enjoyers, and I am here to tell you that you can win over $500 worth of movie stuff. So, if you're listening to this podcast, you're a huge movie fan. Obviously, you wouldn't be listening if you didn't love film like me and Jagger. And so me and Jagger, along with three other content creators on TikTok, Film Gunch, who we've had on here, Wes, who we've had on here a couple times, and then one of our good friends, Real Takes, we are all joined together doing a giveaway currently. And how you join this giveaway is you go to each of our pages. We all have the giveaway video pinned. And you'll go on to that video. You'll give us all a follow. We each account is tagged in every video, and then comment down below. Tag 5 of your friends, and if you tag 5 different friends in all 5 different videos, then you can get up to 30 entries. 30 entries. You can get up to 30 entries. So, but you're like, Trey, well, you're telling me about this, but I don't even know what I can win. Well, I'll tell you what you can win. Real Takes is donating a 4K Harry Potter collection, Blu-ray James Bond collection, I believe a 4K collection of the Planet of the Apes films, and the first 3 John Wick movies in 4K. I'm donating 3 criterions of your choice, so whoever wins get to choose 3 criterions, and we'll mail those to you. Jagger, my co-host, is donating a bunch of international DVDs. Gunch is donating Don Hertzfeld and I can't remember the other guy's name. Well, the animated show. It's a very limited edition animated sketch comedy show. He has a bunch of steelbooks of all 3 seasons, so he's donating those. And then the biggest one, Wes, is donating a region-free Blu-ray player. So, if any of those items interest you, again, go to any of our TikTok pages. Go to me and Jagger's TikTok page, Trey the Film Noob, Jagger Film Reviews. We have the videos pinned on top of our pages, so go check them out, follow the instructions. The giveaway ends when we are all 5 of us at 1,000 followers. And me and Jagger are the only ones that haven't hit 1,000 followers yet. So please help us get us there so we can give away all this movie merchandise. Now, let's get to the podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite film podcast, The Average Film Enjoyer. We are your average film enjoyers, Jagger and Trey, and we are excited to be here today for our second episode of our Friday night double feature series. Jagger, my friend, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, good. We're excited to get into it today, but first we are going to start with some movie, because we've gotten a lot of movie news, a lot of updates, a lot of trailers this week. So we're just going to dive a little bit into those, and then we will get into our reviews for the day. So first one, I know we talked a couple weeks ago about how we're both kind of like out on Marvel, and how it's really just gone downhill post Endgame. But I did want to talk about, because Marvel will always hold a special place in my heart. But I did want to talk about, it's been heavily rumored. I don't want to say confirmed, because I don't think it has been confirmed, but it's been heavily rumored that Pedro Pascal has agreed to play Reed Richards in the upcoming Fantastic Four film. And I know we talked about this before. I like this. I know you don't. And I'm just wondering why you don't like this.
Here's the thing. When I imagine Reed Richards personally,
Yeah.
I imagine like a younger dude,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is just them trying to get people in seats, which I know, shocker from Disney, trying to get money. Uh, I just think having a name like Pedro Pascal right now will pull a lot of people in, and I think that
Oh,
as far as
100%.
like money goes, that's smart.
Yeah.
Um, but I also think as far as it goes with having the character be who the character is, it just doesn't feel like Reed Richards, in my opinion, at least. So
Yeah.
that's just my take.
Um, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you there. When I think of Reed Richards personally, I think of an older guy in his 40s or 50s. Because in at least the comics that I've read, he always has those streaks of gray hair on the side of his head. And when I see that, I instantly think like, oh, he's an older guy, probably a dad, something like that. So I think Pedro Pascal was a great choice. I do. I don't think like he. I think he is a great choice just because I love Pedro Pascal, but I don't think he's a great choice for that character. I know Matt Smith, who I believe is still Doctor Who right now. I know he was rumored for a while to be playing Mr. Fantastic, and I really liked that because he just gives off that intellectual smarty pants vibe. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Pedro Pascal does with the role, just because of how much I enjoy him in other
And again,
stuff
this
he's
is
been in.
all just that speculation. That's
Yeah.
all this is.
Exactly. Among other Marvel news, we got our first trailer this week and our first look at the brand new film, or the next Marvel film, Madam Web. Jagger, I know you just watched this trailer. What's your instant reaction to this?
I think it looks like it's gonna be cool. I mean, I think that's about where it's gonna be cool. I'm not like out of my seat like this is gonna be the best Marvel movie to ever come out.
Yeah.
I think the idea of like her being able to sit in like the Final Destination sort of like type of deal.
Yeah.
I kind of like that, but I mean, here's the thing: just like a teaser, I can't really like tell a lot from it, but it
Yep.
looks cool, so I'm excited.
Yeah. I think I do really enjoy this idea. I'm with you there. I think it could be really cool. I think some of the suit designs we see in the trailer, especially from the villain, look really, really cool. And actually look like solid CGI, which is something we haven't got a lot of from Marvel and Disney. So I think that's definitely interesting. But if again, we've talked about this with the Iron Claw, trailers are really, really hard to like. You can have a great trailer and have a really shitty movie, but you can also have a really shitty trailer and have an amazing movie. So I think if I were to like give this movie a rating by how good the trailer was, I think I'm already at like a 1.5 stars, 1 star, just because like we get some Bohemian Rhapsody level editing in here where it's like someone says something and then they cut to every single character for their reaction. And there's just some really goofy stuff in here, goofy dialogue. But I'm cautiously hopeful because I do like Dakota Johnson. I do think she's very good. And we get like one shot, one look at Sydney Sweeney as Spider-Girl. And I think that looked kind of cool. But other than that, I'm not totally excited. But, I mean, who knows? Marvel could be making a comeback. We'll see.
Read something really quick that I guess is older movie news, but if we're in the movie news segment, can I quickly just throw it in because we've never mentioned it? Steven Spielberg confirms plans to adapt Stanley Kubrick's unmade Napoleon script for HBO.
Hell yes! Yes!
That sounds so incredible.
You know what I hear?
especially
You know
right
what I
now-
hear when you say that? One of the greatest directors decides to adapt the greatest directors of all time unmade script and put it on the best streaming service.
Yes. That's what this is. Especially since we're currently running off of the movie that is supposed to be a drama. Except Joaquin Phoenix. And no hate to Joaquin Phoenix. But playing Napoleon and not doing a French accent.
Bro, that's so
At
goofy.
Running off of that Napoleon,
Mm-hmm.
which is a diss to the 20s Napoleon, or so I've heard.
Yeah.
I think this is necessary.
Yeah. That's I didn't even heard about that. That's sick as hell. Just because I'm a huge fan of Spielberg and I'm a huge fan of Kubrick, so that could be super, super cool. Do you know if it's like going to be like a movie or like a short series?
Looking through it now. So it looks like it was a movie that was going to be like 4.5 hours, Stanley Kubrick style. But it is now going to be a 7-part limited series, clocking in at 155 pages.
Jesus fuck. Oh, well, I'm looking forward to that. I think Steven Spielberg is a masterful director. I think he's an even better director when other people write scripts for him. Because he hasn't written that many movies, but he's directed a lot of, like, all the Indiana Jones movies. George Lucas wrote all of those. And, like, all of Spielberg's greatest stuff is stuff he hadn't written himself, except The Fabelmans, which I really, really enjoyed, from last year. But, yeah, I think that sounds unbelievably cool.
Did he write Schindler's List?
Maybe?
Movie. It looks like he wrote Schindler's List.
Yeah, and I know he
That's
wrote The
not bad.
Goonies, too, which is really, really good.
Oh, wait. I might have been wrong here. Never mind. He did not write Schindler's List. My bad.
Okay. I know for sure he wrote The Goonies because I checked that the other day. But yeah, that sounds outstanding. Something on the kind of the same level of coolness. Darren Aronofsky is set to adapt and create an Elon Musk biopic. Jerry, I know you have a lot. You said you have a lot of thoughts on this. Let's hear them.
Here's the thing. Last time Darren Aronofsky worked with A24, he made The Whale. Whale was incredible. I know that's a hot take, apparently. Whale was amazing.
I haven't
loved
seen
The
it
Whale.
quite yet, so I can't say anything in reaction to that.
He directed Requiem for a Dream. He directed Pi. He directed Black Swan. The guy doesn't miss. Elon Musk. Not necessarily the greatest dude, but as far as a lot of things go, the guy's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So I could understand why this movie is going to be directed by Darren Aronofsky. Seems his style.
Mm-hmm.
He does these weird sort of technology type things. And it's A24. So I could see this being a dark Darren Aronofsky social network.
Yeah.
I don't care who it's about. Phrasing it like that, a dark A24 social network directed by Darren Aronofsky, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at that theater.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand not a great dude, but neither was Jeffrey Dahmer, and to say that no one watched Dahmer, that's incorrect. So
That is a wild comparison. I don't think
wild comparison. Oh, 100%.
Dahmer, are you talking about the Evan Peters?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
I hated that.
But
just because of all the stuff that came out where they didn't get permission from essentially anybody to use these people's real names and all this stuff, that really cool. Make videos about these really historic things about Jeffrey Dahmer, Zodiac, all of that kind of stuff, but get permission from the victims' families, get permission from people. I'm
not trying to say anything good about the show.
Yeah. I just wanted to make that clear for me personally.
Not trying to say anything good about the show, but I am saying everyone watched it.
That is true. That is true. I feel like there's like something in our society today where people are like addicted to that true crime stuff. I feel like it's the same. It's the same way with horror. It's the same thing as horror. You're like, at least for me, horror for me is like, yeah, my life could be shitty right now, but at least I'm not getting chased by Ghostface, or my mom isn't in a cult, or what's another horror movie we really like? My dad is not locked us in a hotel up on top of a mountain and is going fucking crazy.
My partner is not in a bear costume getting burned at a...
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I watch horror, is like, my life is bad, but it could never be this worse.
So, yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Also, have you seen the South Park episode about the, like, people addicted to the true crime stuff?
No.
Oh, it's so fun.
I'll have to go check that out. But Darren Aronofsky, I like this idea. Once we get closer to it and talk about it more, we can do our fan castings of who we think would do a good Elon Musk. Because, like, whether you like him or not, he's an interesting dude, and he's a weird dude. And I think Darren Aronofsky is, like, perfect. Like, he matches the level of weird that Elon Musk has. Like, I think it was like 8 years ago, Elon Musk sent a Tesla into space on a rocket with the top off and a mannequin in the driver's seat with Space Oddity by David Bowie playing full blast. And when the media asked him why he did it, he said, "Because I can." And I was like, that is sick as hell. That is like something I would do if I was a billionaire.
He's the guy to do that. Of any guy who would do that, it's him.
Yeah, he's a weird dude. But yeah, that's exciting. Last piece.
I was gonna say I would love to see it in like a Wolf of Wall Street, just chaos manner. I think that'd be so cool.
But better than Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh please, that's not a hard task, and Darren Aronofsky will pull that off
with ease. Yeah.
Ease.
Yeah. So last little piece, or second to last actually. Please. So tomorrow will be the release of two things. First one, Monarch. Whatever. The new Godzillaverse show will be released on Apple TV Plus, starring Kurt Russell. And then playing a young Kurt Russell will be his son, Wyatt Russell. And it is scary how much they look alike. So very much looking forward to that. I know Jagger doesn't care much for these movies, but this universe is my guilty pleasure. So I will be waiting up till midnight to watch the first episode. I'm quite looking forward to that. Go check that out. Apple TV Plus original. Also tomorrow on Peacock, we are getting, so on SNL, me and Jagger are both huge fans of Saturday Night Live. It's probably in my top 5 favorite TV shows. I don't even put it in like the same category as stuff like Breaking Bad or Stranger Things. Like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like that because there's not really a narrative. It's just a sketch comedy show. But we both love SNL, and for the past few years, there's been a group of guys on there, and they call themselves Please Don't Destroy. They're like 3 comedians, and they do really, really weird sketches that are really, really funny. I don't know if you watched the one they did, Timothy Chalamet hosted last Saturday, and I don't know if you watched that one, but it's really funny. So go.
No, I didn't. I'll go check it out, though.
It's really good. But tomorrow, which we're recording this on Thursday the 16th, so November 17th, we will be getting a Please Don't Destroy movie. So on Peacock. So it's going to be like a 90-minute feature-length film. Go check it out. Me and Jagger that'll be part of our Tuesday episode. We will review that as our 2023 release. So go check that out this weekend. You can listen to our review on Monday. And last thing, we got a trailer for Inside Out 2. I'm quite excited for this. I like that they're introducing anxiety. I think that's going to be really, really, really funny. And I loved the first one. I thought that was a really, really well done film. Jagger, what about you?
Okay. I did not like the first one. I just found it to be kind of bland. I personally just wasn't a fan. I mean, I can understand why people would like it. It just wasn't for me. I did not get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
I think it looks decent. I saw the trailer. I think that it looks like it has the potential to be good. I didn't like I said, I didn't love the first one. So I don't see the sequel being any better.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably going to be around like a 1.5, 2 star for me. But then again, Disney, blow me away. I mean, give me something good so I can be proven wrong. So yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on it, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our movie news for today. Join us next week for the latest updates in movie headlines, trailers, everything. And I guess TV now that I mentioned the Godzilla show. So, if you are a regular listener, which I think a lot of the people that listen to this are regular listeners. How crazy is it that there are people out there that want to hear our opinions on movies? Isn't that wild?
That's so crazy. And to give a quick shout out, this put a huge smile on my face. Someone joined Letterboxd pretty recently, and I saw they hadn't written a review yet. They were just kind of going around following people. They followed Seth, Ethan Simi, Tyler, Cam. They were following Cinema Joe, all the big ones, right?
I think this person followed me too.
And then they followed us.
Yeah.
We were at the same level. So shout out to you.
Whoever that is, thank you. You make us feel special. Yeah, that was super cool. So if you're a regular listener, we're knocking down our IMDb episodes to 1 day a week. And then Fridays, we are doing what we are calling Friday night double features. So essentially, these episodes are coming out on Friday mornings. You can listen to them, and then that night, if you are like us and you just want to stay in and watch a film or two, you can watch them and give us your thoughts. So last week we did I like calling it our Lost in Her Friday night double feature. We did Lost in Translation and Her, which I really enjoyed recording that episode because I love both those films. But today Jagger chose that one. Today is the one that I got to choose. This one we are calling our Dumb Fun double feature. So I want to make this clear. Before I chose these movies, I did not know Jagger just doesn't really like action films. So I want to make that clear before we get into this. So Jagger, take his reviews with a grain of salt, because Jagger just in general doesn't really love action films. So
doesn't love is definitely a statement, but you can keep going.
Well, I think you like some, but I think as the genre goes, you don't like more than you like.
That's fair.
Is that a fair statement?
Perfect.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head.
Okay, so today we are going to be reviewing the 2017 film Baby Driver, which is one of my all-time favorites, and we are going to be reviewing the 2015 film American Ultra, which is another favorite of mine. Let's do Baby Driver first, Jagger, because I know you have this, we are on the complete opposite ends of the spectrum here. So why don't you give us your opening thoughts on this film, and I'll try not to get enraged.
Opening thoughts. 1 star, being generous. This is definitely, a movie, for what it's worth. Here, I'm gonna put this down, because now I gotta talk. It's definitely a movie. You see, uh, is it a movie? It's definitely not a film. It's something though. Uh, in the words of Martin Scorsese, there's films and there's movies. This goes in the movie side of things. Um, Writing so bad it makes Tommy Wiseau look like Francis Ford Coppola. Um,
I'm
and
okay.
I'm saying that because it made Big Shark look like The Godfather. It was aimless. They had a character at the beginning that was actually interesting, and we'll talk about that opening scene and how it's the only interesting part of this whole movie, and maybe the only thing memorable about it. But in the opening scene, you had Jon Bernthal, who they built up as this character, never showed up again because, of course, this director had absolutely no clue what they were doing. Stupid guy, can't make a movie. And then you have Jamie Foxx come in later, who is a Control C, Control V of Jon Bernthal, but this time with some spunk, or whatever you want to call it, as an excuse to make it look like this movie has like a bit of like structure to it. And I mean, there was this like plot that they tried to make where it's like, but he got in an accident when he was a young boy and now he can't hear. So he listens to music and music gives him superpowers. Or whatever it was that they were trying to establish here. None of it made any sense. I mean, it was aimless action that was like what I wrote in my review is that, you know, those baby keys that like put babies into sensory overload. It felt like that, where they were like colors, like action, guns, boom, explosions. And it felt like they were rattling baby keys in my face, and I felt like I was having a seizure for a good amount of it. I mean, if we're talking about the Bohemian Rhapsody cuts, it's like bam, 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 bam. In fact, this makes Bohemian Rhapsody look calm. This movie was just like, it felt like I was having an aneurysm, and I was just like begging for it to stop. I know I had to watch it for the podcast. I was kind of in like an Alex DeLarge eye clamp situation where I was like, I have to watch it. If I was watching this on my own time, I'd have shut it off by now. So 1 star goes to that opening scene that's pretty cool, where it's like him, like, and then it's like tick, 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 and then they like shoot people, and then they like run out, and then they get into the car, and he's driving, and everything's like in tune with the music, which they continue to try and do. But it was a really like gimmick that got like, oh, it was cool in the opening scene. Why don't you like spread it out? But then they like made the cuts in the shape of like in the time of the music, and they would play like music that was really fast for an excuse of why they were cutting every 5 seconds. But yeah, this was just a super weak movie all around, and I hated it.
That's a take. Give me a sec. I need to collect my thoughts so I can.
I think I was a little bit over the like age range that this was going for or something, because it was like something like that. Or I was just generally not the target audience.
Okay. So, Baby Driver, if you have not seen it, directed by Edgar Wright, who has also directed such films as Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Last Night in Soho. It stars the most cancelable.
He did Last Night in Soho?
Yeah.
God, he's really bad. Jeez, continue.
Starring the most cancelable cast of all time. Ansel Elgort and Kevin Spacey, both despicable, terrible human beings. But then stars the love of my life, Lily James. Also in this are Jon Hamm, Jamie Foxx, Elisa Gonzalez, Jon Bernthal, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and a lot of other great people. It has a 3.7 overall on Letterboxd. After being coerced into working for a crime boss, a young getaway driver finds himself taking part in a heist doomed to fail. So this is an action movie. I want to say this, Jagger, you're what, 13? And you think this was aimed for, you're a bit too old for it? I watched this for the first time when I was probably 18. So that was 2 years ago.
It just feels like it has the same audience as Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Okay. Let me talk. Let me talk. You can't keep just interrupting me and hating on this movie. So Jagger came in. Here's why you shouldn't watch Baby Driver. I'm gonna come in with here's why you should watch it. Sure, dialogue rough at some points. The acting even worse at some points. Kevin Spacey pretty much phones it in here. I feel like the only really good performances are Jon Hamm and Jamie Foxx. But here, let me say this. This genre of film is not known for having a great script or great acting or anything like that. Like, even if you were to watch a film like Escape from New York, which we'll talk about a little bit later, none of those acting performances are really great, and the script is pretty terrible at some points. It's an action movie. Like, especially Escape from New York. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy it, though. Like, I can recognize that it sure, it might not have great writing, it might not have great acting, but you can still enjoy it. Here are the things that this movie does masterfully. It is super stylistic. If you like in movie trailers when they match the action along to the beat of the song that is playing, everything in this film is done like that. And it is absolutely satisfying and beautiful. There are a few movies that I've been as locked into as I was with this film on first watch. I didn't move from my seat for the entire thing. I think we get some great car chase sequences. Obviously, with that opening scene with bell bottoms playing is unbelievable. I think the whole shootout scene while Tequila was playing was super cool. I think the ending is really cheesy, and I don't like it. I think there's a lot of really great things to love about this movie. It's quick, it's smart, it's witty. A lot of it's pretty funny. You get like so many great car chase scenes, a great soundtrack, and really cool editing. And the one thing I do want to say is, like, every single time I watch this, I pick up on stuff I didn't pick up before. Like, stuff that's new, stuff that goes along with the beat or the harmony of the song. My favorite scene for this film is, God, that fucking thumb. My favorite scene of this film is when he is going to get the coffee for the first time after that first car chase. I can't remember. It might be Harlem Shake. I can't remember what song is playing there. But like, even like the rap music that's happening, even the guy playing trumpet, everything is just goes completely with the song. And I've always found that really interesting. I've seen this film so many times that I didn't feel like I really needed to sit down and give my full attention to it, so I put it on while I was playing Fortnite just to refresh myself. And something that's really interesting, which is the only movie I feel like I can do this with, that's not super dialogue heavy. Like, obviously something that's like all dialogue, like My Dinner with Andre or something like that. You could just sit down and do something mindless and not have to look at the screen 24/7, and just listen. But with this, that's not like that. But I did find that I picked up on more if I wasn't watching the screen, which I found very interesting. But I do want to talk about the one part of this film you did like is the opening. This is one of my favorite openings in film. I think it's outstanding. I think there's some dope-ass stunts. This opening is the only reason I want a Subaru WRX, Cherry Red. Also, I just miss driving stick shift. And it's just like, God, dude, it's so good. And I'm just wondering, like, if it's just that, then what did you like about the opening? Or if there's other parts about this film that you did enjoy?
No, it was just that.
What did you enjoy about the opening?
The opening, I feel like it was the only use of that, like, in tune thing that I really found interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was because it was my first time seeing it used in the movie, and I wasn't like, oh, so this is the entire thing.
Yeah.
I think I kind of found it cool. It sort of had a similar opening to Drive, just not as well done, you know, where he just, like, does the getaway and then, like, just changes and gets out.
God, the opening to Drive I should have put Drive with this movie. Oh, damn. The opening to Drive is, like, top 3 movie openings for me. That opening sequence is just outstanding.
I mean, yeah, I think that's, like, the only part of the movie where I was like, this is entertaining in, like, good way. I think that the joke that they did with Mike Myers at some point in the movie, just to quickly point that out.
Yeah.
I thought that was so, like, oh, come on. Like, that was a grown moment for me. But yeah, I guess I can't say anything bad about this movie because we still have American Ultra coming up, like, as far as acting goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was the only part of this movie that I liked. I just thought everything was lackluster. I think it was super forgettable. I don't remember the ending. I have no recollection of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's a lot of this movie. It's just like it phased right out of my head once it was over.
Yeah.
I found this to be on, like, a similar quality to Miracle Beach, if you've ever seen that movie. It's, like, very similar in how you watch it and then immediately forget every single thing that happened. But yeah, I think that's about it.
So would you recommend this to our listeners?
Or no, because there's better. No, watch Drive. Watch Drive.
I'm gonna say yes. If you like Edgar Wright, definitely check this out. If you like Drive, I would check this out. I mean, yeah, I would definitely check this one out. Baby Driver. I had to rent it. I don't know about you, Jagger, if you streamed it anywhere, if you just rented it.
I picked it up from the library, but it wasn't streaming anywhere.
Yeah, so definitely give this one a watch. I think it complements really well with our next film. I think because I try to watch these Friday night double features as double features to see how well they complement each other. And I think it complements our next film really well. Which I watched it second, and that actually, I felt good about that. Because I feel like there's a lot less to pay attention to in this one. So yeah, that's our review of Baby Driver, directed by Edgar Wright. Yeah, go check it out. Jagger says you shouldn't. I say you should. Let us know what your thoughts are on this film. Our next film that we are going to get into, the second part of our and your Friday night double feature, is American Ultra, directed by Nima Nowarzadeh. I'm totally pronouncing that wrong. If he's listening, please, I apologize. Also the director of Project X, which, Jagger, I know you've seen and you really enjoy. I personally really enjoy that too. I think it's really, really funny. I think it's a great hangout movie.
Yeah. This guy can make a movie.
Yeah.
Real good.
The synopsis here: American Ultra is a fast-paced action comedy about Mike, a seemingly hapless and unmotivated stoner whose small town life with his live-in girlfriend Phoebe is suddenly turned upside down. Unbeknownst to him, Mike is actually a highly trained lethal sleeper agent. In the blink of an eye, as his secret past comes back to haunt him, Mike is thrust into the middle of a deadly government operation and is forced to summon his inner action hero in order to survive. This film has a Letterboxd average of 2.9, which personally for me I find wild because I had this at 5 stars for a while. I have it at 4 stars now after rewatch. This film is currently streaming on, you can rent it on Apple TV, YouTube, and it's currently streaming on HBO Max. Stars Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Topher Grace, Connie Britton from Friday Night Lights fame, Walton Goggins, a lot of great people in this film. A lot of like B-list actors that are strangely very good. So, Jagger, your opening thoughts. Again, you have this rated lower, but you don't have it. I think you actually enjoyed this one. You don't have it rated as low as Baby Driver.
Okay, yeah, I did kind of enjoy this one, actually.
Yeah.
I have this one at American Ultra at 3 stars. Yeah, Okay. So, at 3 stars, I have the review as, that was fun. No more, no less. Just fun. And I think that that's what this movie is. Yeah. Unlike Baby Driver, this is fully digestible. I found this to be a super enjoyable time. Yeah. I think I've never seen in my life seen an acting performance as absolutely unbearable as Topher Grace in this movie, who could not keep eye contact with something for a whole 30 seconds. I felt like he looked at the camera at some point. And they just kept it in. I imagine that's because he gave worse takes and really had to just be like, this is what we're getting.
Yeah.
I hope that's what it is. I hope they didn't see that and say it was good. But yeah, this movie's fun. Jesse Eisenberg's decent in it. Kristen Stewart's decent in it. John Leguizamo, I don't really like. But he is John Leguizamo in it, so...
Dude, I think he's so goddamn funny in this movie. I think he is so funny. He had, like, every scene he's in, just the way he talks to Mike, and I think it's just so stupid and so funny.
That there was something very unappealing to me about the scene where they're in the neon thing and their like whole face is like lit up in some parts. I know that that's like the poster child thing for this movie, at least for all the custom posters. I just found that scene to really like I didn't like it. I don't know. I'm trying to like put together the words for it.
The like black light scene. Yeah, it kind of rubbed you the wrong. That happens sometimes. Sometimes a scene scratches an itch and you can't explain it, and then sometimes it really doesn't and you can't explain it. You just didn't like it.
I like the concept, the whole like robot virus thing. I think that was funny. Pretty cool. And I think that's what this movie is. It's cool. Not like it. Yeah, good time.
Yeah, I love this film. When I watched it for the first time, probably like 4 or 5 months ago, I gave it a 5 stars. And I tried to look back on, because I gave it a rewatch and I was like, okay, this definitely isn't a 5-star film. I do still really, really enjoy it, but it's not a 5-star. And I tried to look back on like the kind of headspace I was in that day. Because like a lot of times that can affect your feeling about a movie. It's what kind of headspace you're in. Like the 2023 release About My Father, with Sebastian Maniscalco and Robert De Niro, I gave a 0.5 star because I walked out of the theater like 30 minutes in. But I also wasn't in the best headspace today, so who knows? Maybe I could watch that and give it like a 3.5. So I looked back onto it, and I had like a really, really shitty day, and my brain was just like really tired. And my buddy Ben, who I do all my watch parties with, he called me up and was like, "Hey man, you want to watch a movie tonight?" And he started bringing out, "Hey, how about Taxi Driver? How about like these really like amazing films, you know? But they take a lot for you to like watch it and digest it and think about it, you know?" And I was like, "Dude, I just need something. I've had a shitty day. I just need something dumb that I only have to like half pay attention to and fun." And he was like, "Okay, what do you want to watch?" And I was like, "Well, I've been eyeing this American Ultra for a little bit because I'm a huge Jesse Eisenberg fan. I think he's a great actor. I'm a Kristen Stewart defender. I know a lot of people hate Kristen Stewart. I love Kristen Stewart. I think she's great in this movie, and I think she's great in a lot of other stuff.
Twilight movies are amazing, by the way. They're all so fun.
I wouldn't say they're amazing. I think they're amazingly shitty. But yeah. I still, it's like there's like in the way that you have fun with like Tommy Wiseau, like Big Shark and The Room. That's like how I feel about Twilight. It's just like, wow, this is terrible. I'm having so much fun. Just because like Kristen Stewart and Rob Pattinson are both so bad in those movies, it's so funny. But yeah, I watched this and I was like, it was like exactly what I needed to like feel a little bit better and go to bed happy. I mean, I laughed really, really hard at multiple moments. And yeah, this is just, it's a fun time. I think we get some great choreographed action here. And some really fun action scenes. I think Jesse Eisenberg is great at playing the stoner action hero. I mean, just like he's, yes, God. The whole scene where they're walking to Rose's house, his drug dealer, John how do you say his last name? Leguizamo, his house, and he's like, "Yeah, I've never known anything about tanks, and I can name you like 50 different tanks right now." Like that whole scene I was giggling really hard. And I just, yeah, I totally agree with you. It's just fun. And that's what this double feature is about, is our dumb fun Friday. And that is exactly what this film is dumb fun. One idea that I wanted to bring up that I thought about on this rewatch is the idea of like the serial killer or serial character. So we have this character, Mike Howell. He's like a sleeper agent. He gets hired to go on these special missions whenever his country needs him. And I think, one, they set it up at the end for a possible sequel. But I do think this character could have like been a modern type James Bond type character, where you have like, here's this actor playing Mike Howell for a couple movies, and then you kind of retcon it, and like, here's this actor playing Mike Howell for a few movies, and then you like that, a serial character, I think is what it's called. Where it's just like this fun character that you can recycle over and over and over again and do all these different missions and stuff like that. And I think this would have been a great opportunity for them to do that, because personally for me, I did really enjoy this character of Mike Howell. I think he isn't like, seriously, me and my buddy Ben, after we watched this, we were like, so there's all these like conversations of like, who you put all these guys in a room, who would win? Like James Bond, John Wick, the guy from Extraction, all these action heroes. And we're like, why is Mike Howell never mentioned in these conversations? Mike Howell clears like all of these guys. So I'm wondering your thoughts on that, on the idea of serial characters and reusing these characters over and over and over again with different actors. And I'm just wondering your thoughts about that.
I don't mind the concept sometimes. I think that Scream Face is a really good almost satire on it, of always having it be a different person. I think James Bond did it great sometimes. I mean, no one's ever going to beat Sean Connery's James Bond. But I do respect it. I think that would have sucked for this movie. Personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this movie was great enough as is. I think Jesse Eisenberg played it great. I think the ending really made me laugh. Like after all of this like brutal they were just shooting people up and down. And he just gets down on the knee and proposes.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
that was so like that had me laughing. I think that was the perfect ending. For what the movie was, I didn't think they needed to touch it again. And I think that after there were like parts in the movie where it would just like they would be in the middle of a fight and it would just cut to him sort of thinking for a second and then saying it's not the right time and then
Yeah.
continuing on.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed to touch this movie again. I think that this movie as is was, and I have it at 3 stars, 60 out of 100. I think this was exactly what it needed to be. I don't think this
Mm-hmm.
needed to be incredible. I don't think this needed to be a great movie that had like high ratings all over the place. I think that it was totally fitting where it was. I don't think it needed to be touched again, personally.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. Um, One more thing I want to shout out about this film, unless you have any more notes, is Walton Goggins' character, the Laugher. Um, there's a lot of conversations about like what's one actor that makes every movie they're in just a little bit better, and it's a lot of like people that are usually like side characters that don't have a lot of screen time, but they're usually really good. Like people like John Carroll Lynch, if you know who I'm talking about. He's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Gran Torino for a few scenes. Let me name some movies he's in. That's his name, right? Yeah, John Carroll Lynch is it's this guy. Let's see if I can do this. Oh shit. It's this guy.
Oh, him.
Yeah, they're like kind of like that guy. Like he's in Shutter Island, Zodiac, Fargo, Crazy Stupid Love, Gran Torino, The Founder, The Invitation. Like they just make these movies better by being in them. And I feel like Walton Goggins is one of those people. This guy right here. I'll pull up a picture for everybody. That is Walton Goggins. He plays the Laugher in this film. And I thought he was amazing. At least me personally. I thought he was super funny. I'm wondering what your thoughts on like a performance in this film that isn't one of our main characters that was like a side character that you were like, oh, they were kind of funny for what they were tasked to do.
Yeah, he was in the movie that I personally hate, but I understand. House of a Thousand Corpses. He was also in Django Unchained. He's a guy that I'm familiar with. However, he was great in this, but I do think that it's a little insane to say that he made this movie better. I'm just saying that I think his character was great as it is, but I think it could have been equally as good without him, personally.
Yeah.
I don't think he added anything to the movie. I also really don't think he took anything away from the movie. I just think that he was there. He was a good character for what he was. It's like Rob Schneider in a Adam Sandler movie. I hate Rob Schneider with a passion.
That guy sucks.
However,
He's also like a transphobe and a homophobe, which really sucks.
oh, well, screw him.
Rob Schneider, his new special, he just did a bunch of jokes that were like super offensive and not in like there will be people that do jokes that are offensive, but like they're not not cancelable. Like they're still good jokes, but they're just it's excuses for him to be a dick. So this is a hate of Rob Schneider podcast. He's also like not funny at all.
Like, he was iconic in the Adam Sandler movies as the You Can Do It guy. The fact that he got anywhere further than that is beyond me.
Yeah.
I just think that he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Is what he is.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. So yeah, that is American Ultra. Jagger, would you recommend this to our viewers for a Friday night movie?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Yeah, me too. I think it complements Baby Driver really well, for me personally. But like, it's also really fun on its own. This is a great one to watch with like if you want to have like your friend that like it's probably a fun one to watch with your significant other, with your partner. But like shout out to guys. If you just want to have the boys over and have a double feature night where it's just like just dumb fun, watch one of these. It's a great time to watch with either of these movies with your friends.
And please, someone on Twitter, watch this movie and propose to your significant other at the part where he proposes to her. And tag me on Twitter.
Yeah, tag both of us on Twitter. We would love that. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
That'd be
that would make my heart so warm and full of joy. Yeah, you can stream it on Max. It's rentable, Apple TV, YouTube, that whole spiel. But yeah, that's our Friday night double feature, our dumb fun double feature. Baby Driver and American Ultra. So yeah, what? Bro, all this Terrifier 2A is really pissing me off, man.
What are you talking about now?
Oh shit, Lauren Lavera was cast in the upcoming Terrifier 3. Like, it's been released. I don't know if you saw this. She played Sienna in the second one.
Oh, so she's been cast?
Yeah, she's in like, it's on her Letterboxd now. And the kid who played Jonathan, her little brother, is also going to be in it. So, looking forward to that.
I worked on a movie with that kid.
Wow. Oh yeah? Is he nice?
I didn't meet him, but I was on set like 2 days before him. He was in the Pitchfork Retreat. Shout out to the Pitchfork Retreat, coming out soon, starring Jagger.
Hell yeah. No, it was just one of my friends gave Terrifier 2 a 1.5 stars. That's wild to me. I have that movie at you still have it at a 2.5, Jagger.
Yeah, I have it at 2.5 because I don't think it's good. But do I have fun when I watch it? And have I watched it more than once? Yes.
Okay. Well, I have it at a 4.5. I think that movie is amazing.
But back off with a 1.5.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, guys. Come on. You just don't you don't I feel like I sound like a pretentious film bro when I talk, where I'm just like, you just don't get it. You don't get the homages. You just don't get it.
You know, I'm gonna do a quick log, just 3 stars.
Hell yeah.
And just put screw the haters, 60 out of 100.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So we've done our reviews. We did movie news. Did you watch any 2023 releases this week?
Have I?
Between The Wizard of Oz and this?
Oh, between The Wizard of Oz. Well, the last one was The Killer, which we talked about.
Yeah, already talked about that one.
Yeah.
All right. So we will have. I know Jagger is seeing The Holdovers tomorrow.
Yes, I am.
And I will watch Please Don't Destroy this weekend, so we will be talking both of those on Tuesday. Hopefully I can get out and see The Holdovers. The more reviews I see for it, the more I'm like, God, I just need to see this!
It looks so good. And Election was almost a perfect film. So I just gotta get on that.
Yeah. And like Tyler Whitmore has it at his second best film of the year.
Really?
Yeah, right behind Oppenheimer.
Well, for me, number 1, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes, we know. We get it, Jagger. All right. Well, now it's time for our favorite segment. I'm lowering my office table so I can put my feet up on it. Oh, Jesus Christ, now I'm stuck. There we go. Oh my gosh, that's so comfy. Yeah, I'm going to be over here for the rest of the episode, just down in the corner. So, now, as everybody knows, is our favorite segment, High and Low, which has now not turned into not just us choosing a high and choosing a low. It's just us talking about what we've watched between the last episode and this episode. So, Jagger, you have less. Why don't you kick it off with what you've been watching?
So I didn't watch. I just put a login for Jurassic World Dominion at 58 out of 100.
Massive L!
I watched Ran, which I used my review as a school project.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's a W. That's a massive W.
I needed to put in a review of something for the school assignment. So I just threw in my review of Ran and said, this is a Kurosawa review. My review of Ran, a 99.5 out of 100.
Jesus.
5 stars. This film altered cinema as we know it. It is one of the most, like, oh, that's where that movie got oh, there's that. Oh, wow. Movies ever. It was like this onion of cinema. It just peeled back like 12 layers that I didn't know were there. Like a glass onion type of thing. As it like peels away layers you didn't even know were there in the first place. Not the movie Glass Onion, like a literal. Okay, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It was. I watched it and I was completely dumbfounded as every frame went by, completely hooked, enthralled, and impressed. A great script, beautiful cinematography. Everything about this movie was masterful and almost perfect.
Yep.
That 0.5 is because I don't hold it as high as other perfect movies, but on rewatch, that very well could be a perfect film. Then I went from that and hopped immediately over to Throne of Blood. Throne of Blood is a Kurosawa that I watched the next day. A 98 out of 100. We're just getting constant highs here. Another incredible Kurosawa film.
Yeah.
Kurosawa does like samurai remakes of Shakespeare, and it is just so cool.
That's
Ran was based on King Lear. Throne of Blood was Macbeth, but in samurai Kurosawa fashion. My review is another instance of Kurosawa casually rewriting the capabilities of film as a medium, because that's what this is. For 1957, this is like the most advanced and awesome movie I've ever seen. Both of those cracked my top 100. I think Ran might have even cracked like top 40. So both of them are absolutely incredible films. If you have an attention span and the ability to really read subtitles for a long time, you're gonna love them. Maybe not as much Throne of Blood, like an hour 40. Ran is like 2.5 hours. I know a lot of people can't do that, but if you can do it, you will achieve seeing one of the most incredible narratives in all of cinema. And I will proudly say that those are two of debatedly the greatest, like, technically greatest films of all time. Then American Ultra and my just log of Terrifier 2 I just threw up for.
Yeah. Sweet.
The haters.
Since Wizard of Oz, I have watched Nap, the latest masterpiece from Jagger Nelson. Personally, my favorite of his. I think this one is very... Who's George O. Mahoney? He also watched it.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Follow him. He reviews a bunch of my movies, and I follow him. He's cool.
Let's see. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one personally. I think it's your best work so far. I think it's the most Lynchian, which I know David Lynch is probably your biggest influence, if I had to guess.
Yeah, in my review, I said, been watching Twin Peaks lately. This is where my brain is at.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
And also, you got custom posters now. What?
Yeah, I do.
That's so cool. Yeah, really enjoyed that one. I'm going to bring my table back up. Let's see. Gonna do one of those. Let's see, what else have I been watching? I watched Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian, which is the second one. I just love those movies so much. Amy Adams is great. Bill Hader is current what's his face? General Custer, like Custer's Last Stand, is always so funny. Robin Williams as Theodore Roosevelt is one of my all-time favorite characters. Robin Williams is one of my all-time favorite people. Just really, really funny. I love those films. I know you don't, Jagger, but I do.
I have the first one at a 2.5, and I have a really, really bad history with the second one. I watched it for school in history class, and I hated it. I just don't like it for a few reasons.
That's fine.
That's beside the point. Yeah.
Skipping over Baby Driver and American Ultra, I watched Uncut Gems for the first time. Finally checked that off. No, I'd never seen it. Dude, that is one of the easiest 5 stars I have ever given. That movie is so damn good. The Safdie brothers, man. I mean, I've now seen both of their feature-length films. What's this? Heaven Knows What. Add that to the watch list. I've seen Uncut Gems and Good Time, and
really,
they are both so damn good at creating that really, really stressful and anxiety-inducing environment. There are few movies I've been as stressed as I was during this movie. Adam Sandler proving yet again that he can actually act. Lakeith Stanfield was amazing. Kevin Garnett can act. Who knew? Julia Fox was great in this film, if you know what I mean. Julia Fox, hit me up. Hit me up on TikTok, baby. You are one of the most gorgeous women I have ever seen. Scenes were hard to pay attention to when you were in that. So hit me up on TikTok, Trey the Film Noob. Yeah, just an outstanding piece of cinema. I'm probably gonna watch this with my dad soon because this is exactly the kind of movie my dad likes.
Such a dad movie,
dude. It's so really, damn good. Really what do you have this rated at?
5 stars.
Yeah,
I had it at 4.5 for like a good minute, but I was like, no, that's not right.
Yeah. God, dude, yeah. And when like he wins the bet at the end of the movie, but then he just gets fucking shot, that caught me off guard, dude. I was like, wait, no, that can't be how it ends. You know, that movie was fucking off the hook. Man.
That shot of him on the floor was beautiful.
Yeah,
where you could just hear the robber. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
You have to watch Punch. You have to watch Punch Drunk Love now. You're legally obligated.
I know. Isn't that Paul Thomas Anderson?
It's PTA's second best.
Yeah. What's his best one? Boogie Nights? That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I haven't seen There Will Be Blood, but I don't see it taking over Boogie Nights for me. Boogie Nights is just like an all-time fave.
Yeah. It does. It's not even close. Not
yeah.
even close.
And then I watched Pitch Perfect. An underrated banger.
Why?
It is a movie that shouldn't go as hard as it does. I love it. I think it's really funny. I think it's really fun. I just have a fun, like, live your truths. I think this movie's really fun. What do you have this movie at?
I don't have it logged.
Have you watched it?
Yes, I have, unfortunately. What would I rate it? 1.5.
Oh, I have it at
also,
a 4.
Mike Flanagan does not like Uncut Gems.
That's wild.
This is sad news.
And then watched Escape from New York. Really enjoyed that. That was a good time. I'm interested to see how good Escape from LA is. I've heard it's not great.
If you didn't love Escape from New York, don't even touch Escape from LA.
I didn't love it. I did really like it though.
It's just a really, really bad version of Escape from New York. I mean, you can watch it if you want. It's just not half as good.
And then I watched... let me find it here. And then I rewatched Tron because I decided I needed to watch some Peak. So I watched Tron Legacy. I think that's
You've been
my.
watching Tron Legacy a lot recently.
I know. I think that was my 6th log of that film. It's one of my all-time faves, easily.
Well,
I think it's.
I can't say anything about watching the same movie a lot in one
No,
month. That
I
would
think
be incorrect.
I think that movie is slowly working its way up to my top 10. Honestly,
That's fair.
I'm gonna start doing this thing. You know how I have like my top 100 lists on Letterboxd?
Yeah.
So I haven't updated that in a while. I think I'm gonna like date them, and I'm gonna make separate top 100 lists. So like, here's my top 100 list from like September 2023. Here's my top 100 list from May 2024. Just to see how my movie taste changes over time, you know?
I mean, you kind of got to be a psychopath to commit to that, but if you can do it, I really respect you.
Yeah. But Tron Legacy, one of the most visually appealing movies of all time. And then I watched A Walk Among the Tombstones, starring Liam Neeson. Going into it, I was just expecting like a shitty Liam Neeson action movie, but it was actually kind of good. It stars Liam Neeson, Dan Stevens, and David Harbour.
Really?
So 3 actors that I really enjoy. The whole thing is kind of an homage to like those 40s and 50s detective noir films, where like it's always raining and there's so much inner monologue and just like that kind of vibe. So if you're into that kind of thing, check this one out. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Jagger, you should add this one to the watch list. I think you might enjoy some parts, but I also think there's a slight possibility you'll hate it. And then I watched something I've been meaning to get around to for a while, 2020's Shiva Baby, starring Rachel Sennott. It was, if you don't know about this movie, this was 78 minutes of pure anxiety and uncomfortableness.
Yes.
It was you've seen Shiva Baby, right, Jagger?
Yeah, I don't have it logged, but I have seen it. I have.
Wait, you enjoyed it, right?
Yes, thoroughly.
Oh, yeah, totally. I loved it. I was, like, dialed in the entire time, and there were so many moments where I was just like...
Putting this back-to-back with Uncut Gems would genuinely give you a heart attack.
Your heart would just be like... But for different reasons, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The Uncut Gems is because of the pacing and the editing and how much is going on and how much yelling there is. This is because it's like, you know how like first season of The Office makes you really uncomfortable? Just because of all the stuff that's said and you're just like, oh! That's what this is for 78 minutes. So if you're looking for just like a really solid film that is gonna fly by and is really short, check out Shiva Baby on HBO Max. Amazing. Rachel Sennott, amazing. Let's see, what else have I watched? And then I watched. I'm figuring out that the serial killing animatronics is kind of a subgenre in horror. I watched Willy's Wonderland, starring Nicolas Cage. Jagger, you need to check this out. It's really fun. It's not very good. Like, again, we've talked about this. It's not a good film, but like I had a blast watching it. It's Nick Cage at his most Nick Caginess.
Really?
Even though he doesn't utter a single line of dialogue.
Excuse me?
Nope, doesn't speak the whole movie. But it's streaming on Hulu right now. You should check it out. It's also on Tubi and Plex. So, Jagger, you should definitely check that out. I quite enjoyed it. 2021 film. And then I watched Pacific Rim, which is one I've been meaning to get around to for a while now. Just because of how highly everybody else holds it. And I was expecting a lot because of how highly everybody else holds it. And I was very disappointed. 2.5 stars. It was fine. The dialogue was pretty fucking terrible. But some of the action scenes were pretty cool. Like the whole Jaeger versus Kaiju deal was kind of cool. So I enjoyed that piece, but it just wasn't great. Rewatched Jumanji with Robin Williams, a childhood classic that still holds up to this day. Watched Peter Jackson's King Kong for the first time. Peak cinema. It was really damn good. It might be in my top 20, might be in my top 30. Just really, really enjoyed this one. Really great. And then this morning I watched Lion, a film from 2016. I couldn't decide on a movie. Are you ever like super indecisive and you just can't decide what you want to watch?
Yes, and I've seen Lion actually.
Yeah.
Funny story.
I couldn't decide what to watch. So, and my mom walks in and I'm like, "Mom, give me a movie. First one you say, I'll watch right now." I just like couldn't decide. So she was like, "Watch Lion." I love that movie. And I thought it was pretty good. Dev Patel was amazing. Nicole Kidman was amazing. I didn't think it was anything outstanding, but I thought it was pretty good.
Maybe I have to watch it again, but I think 3 stars from my memory is a little generous.
Oh, you didn't like it? I think there's a lot of parts to like about
all.
this film. I think there's solid cinematography.
I watched this before I was into movies, so maybe like watching it now. Like,
yeah, I think that it's one that warrants a rewatch for you at least.
All right.
Because I think there is a lot of parts to like about this movie, and a lot of people hold this really highly. But it just didn't totally work for me. But I still enjoyed it. Like I wasn't miserable watching it. But yeah, that's everything I've watched this week. Thank you for joining us today on The Average Film Enjoyer. Join us on our episodes next week. Tuesday, you can expect a review of The Best Years of Our Lives, the classic 1940s film. And then for our Friday night double feature next week, we are doing a David Byrne double feature. We will be reviewing Stop Making Sense, and what's the other one, Jagger?
True Stories. I wonder
True
who
Stories.
would have picked this one between us. I wonder.
God, who knows? But we will be doing both of those next Friday, so please join us for both of those episodes. So just a little announcement. I will be gone on vacation for 10 days. So the next few, after the best years of our lives, the episodes will be a good amount shorter because we will not be doing high-low. We will not be doing movie news. Just because we're going to be pre-recording all of them. Because I'm gone for 10 days, and I don't really want to record while I'm on vacation. I want to enjoy my vacation. So those will be a bit shorter, but we will still be getting our Tuesday and Friday episodes out. And also for our David Byrne special, I believe we have Jay joining us, who we've had on a few times for this pod, who we love. One of our favorite people to bring on the pod. We always have some great conversation. Really cool guy. So he will be on for that episode, so you can be expecting that. Yeah. Thank you for joining us on The Average Film Enjoyer. Please follow us on our socials. Jagger is Jagger Film Reviews on Twitter and TikTok. Jagger Film Fan on Letterboxd, and Jagger the Movie Guy on Instagram and Twitch. I am Trey the Film Noob everywhere. TikTok, Letterboxd, Twitter. Those are about the only ones I'm active on. Once I start getting more followers, I'll be more active on Twitter. Maybe I should just be more active on Twitter so I get more followers. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
No, I need to get back to doing TikToks. I haven't done a TikTok in a long time. But I still...
Oh God, what was the last TikTok I did? Ooh,
I
continue.
don't know. I still like get followers every day though. I think I'm at like 456. Yeah. Let me think. Subscribe to our channel. Check out our website for our merchandise. Like this video. Comment down below what you think of Baby Driver and American Ultra. Give us your thoughts. And we will see you on Tuesday for our review of the best years of our lives. Thank you. Have a good night.